Hello, my fellow critters, and welcome to this special edition of the What? No, wrong show. Sorry, I shook little Karibo's hand at Anime Expo. Must got to me. Well, regardless, welcome, one and all, to this double-sized episode of Natural 9. Did that make it a Natural 18? Either way, don't fucking crit. This week, we covered two important episodes. Episode 103, where Vax shows up in his birthday suit, and episode 104, where Grog gets huffy over a piece of fruit. Let's get right into it. Beginning with 103, we enter the Feywild, where the party is gathering their thoughts as they try to gather what remains of Vax'ildan for a resurrection ritual. Except this time, Pyke probably can't do it. Meanwhile, Kiki's getting the anxiety over maybe being the one that caused Vax to witness his own death before it happened, and Scanlan tries to gouge out his own eye and put the creepy one in that Delilah had. Leave it to Scanlan to go with the recent fads. After Pyke and the crew snap him out of it, they put the damn thing in a box and give it to the mom stuff for safekeeping. With that small distraction out of the way, the party returns to planning for Vax's return, with Keyleth's true resurrection being the only viable spell. It's got one major cost: 25,000 gold pieces worth of diamonds. Scanlan has an app for that, but they're gonna need to sleep first. As they do, we get another exciting moment, as the cast jacks off and heads into the kitchen, while Liam returns and jacks on for his own reverse whisper. And it's doozy. This time around, the Raven Queen's been worried about Vax and the fact that she couldn't watch over him the last few days. Helicopter moms, am I right? Vax tells her all about Vecna and his bullshit and insists that he needs to come back to save his friends. She agrees? Wait, doesn't she hate the undead? Well, not if you're a revenant, apparently. She grants him presence in his world again, and suspends his ability to die, and says that once Vecna's done, so is he. He'll be back with her for good.
You have such loneliness in your eyes. Perhaps you will keep me company. Come back to me.
He accepts her offer, knowing full well that this is going to be his final ride with his family. Afterwards, Zelda from Breath of the Wild tells him to wake up and to open his eyes. And we return to the party sleeping and taking watches. First watch goes by, then the second one, and finally, Pyke hears someone walking towards them, then sees them. Boy, does she see. She's a cleric, it's nothing she's not seen before. But it's a naked, paler Vax, with, no shit, a raven mark on his chest where that black thing used to be. Then Vex wakes up and witnesses this naked bird boy, and immediately thinks it's a trick. After some naked hugs, Vex finds that there is a pulse. Just a very faint one. Kiki hears this, but like Vex, she's reluctant and will not climb down until someone tells her what the fuck is going on. Percy and the rest are waking up, and Percy don't trust any of it, warning them not to give Vax his stuff, suggesting that Pyke try to turn undead just in case this is some Vecna bullshit. Vax agrees. Scanbo is confused, and Grog needs to pee. Pyke casts Turn Undead, and it's not effective at all. Looks like this isn't some trick. Vax tells them about his deal with Queenie, including this bit about never coming back after Vecna's done. So ultimately, the goal is still kicking Vecna's ass, and the party start drumming up ideas like recruiting other gods like Cord and Sarenrae. Regardless, they need to head back to the Prime Plane, so they plane shift to Vasselheim, the godliest city in Exandria. Grog and Scambo briefly get their brains scrambled by the Feywild, but they get better. Meanwhile, Vax becomes me a few weeks ago and deals with a huge headache that always comes from a specific direction in his head. He now knows that something important, probably Vecna, is 350 miles in that direction. Holy shit, he's a Vecna compass. The party then head to Sarenrae's temple, except for Grog and Scanlan, who want to go meet up with the Lord of the Quadroads, aka the lucky-ass punk that Grog gave wishes to with the Deck of Many Things. Scanlan follows for a laugh. Meanwhile, Pyke tries to talk to the Lady of Light herself, and gets a response? Apparently their confidant has reached max rank, and Pyke now has access to the fusion item Tuner Fork of Elysium, which will allow a plane shifter to cross the Divine Gate into the good god's place. So that's a thing. Meanwhile, Grog and Scanlan run into the guards that Grog and Terry beat up all those months ago, and they do nothing to help their situation. After those shenanigans, the party head to Pyre to warn of incoming Vecna, and then they plane shift to the gates of heaven. Basically. I mean, it's basically a perfect paradise, so, waifus everywhere. And then they head to the Island of Renewal, home to the goddess of redemption herself. Plane shifting over to 104 Live, the most exciting 4 hours in internet television. After some audio shenanigans and a Skype-in by Liam and Ashley, the episode begins, and Vex immediately starts scooping up the pearl-like beads lining this beach, because she's greedy as heck. Liam is a robot, and Scanlan worries a bit about the eyeball. The party has a mini beach episode, and Liam points out that Vax is still shoeless. Because greed is good. Give the boots back, Vex, goddammit. Keyleth expresses that this moment together with her family and Anti-Hell is a great one, and gives an inspiring leadership speech as the party rests and attuned to their ill-gotten goods. Not bitter, the rest ends and the crew start walking towards this beautiful tower and through this beautiful landscape, with some spaces holding statues of big-time followers in Sarenrae's history. But as they get closer, they don't. The center they want to reach ain't getting closer. The party thinks maybe Pyke can get closer on her own. She tries, but she seems not to get any closer. Then everyone tries their own thing, be it walking away, Kiki, thinking about being there, Pyke and Vex, spinning in circles, Percy, and walking around with their eyes closed, Grog. Pyke is the only one that is successful. Pyke's eyes being closed gives her visions of a burning beacon. She keeps her eyes closed and walks towards it. Scambo gives it a shot, holding his own holy symbol of Sarenrae, and he does it. He gets his own beacon. The party then tries to follow. Vex doesn't get there, but Percy does. He was walking with Scambo, which is weird.
Oh, Percy, you don't believe in anything. This is bullshit.
I believe in plenty of things, but yeah, no, I agree, this is bullshit.
Kiki and Vax imagine marshmallows for some reason, and Pyke comes back to pick up everyone, an attempt that is successful. They walk to the tower where the heat increases, but it's nice heat. It's never bad. I'm fucking jelly. Inside of this hollow structure, there's a huge bonfire. And from the fire, out comes Beyonce. I mean, Sarenrae. Her first words are for Pyke. She asks why they have come. After all, Pyke disappeared from her sight, so shit must be bad. Pyke then speaks of their quarry, Vecna. Sarenrae ain't taking that shit lightly. Remember this ritual of seeding thing that Vecna was going for? Turns out the Raven Queen was the first to succeed with it. The party figured that Ayun might know, because her temples were being desecrated for it. But she's been hidden away for a long time. Though the Dawnfather Palor might know more. One thing though, if Vecna's already completed the seeding, we might be screwed. The Divine Gate would need to be destroyed for the gods to beat him down. And that's what caused the last few calamities, so probably not a good idea. Cord's not exactly on speaking terms with Sarenrae. Anyway, they'll need to probably seal him away themselves, so more god talks are going to be in the future. Sarenrae mentions that she's been out of favor for a while, until recently, thanks to a certain little blonde blue-haired gnome. And she's heard Scanlan's prayers too. Probably best to keep that to herself though. Sarenrae asks if Vecna's beyond redemption. Pyke says, probably. Sarenrae notes it's probably going to come down to them sealing Vecna away. Kiki panics because last time they tried, they nearly fucking died. Thankfully, Ioun and Pelor are the ones that actually know how to do it. Poor Sarenrae hasn't talked to any of them in a while, so Vex suggests a raging kegger to get back in their good spirits. Pyke is picked up by Sarenrae, who gets big, and tells them that the spirits of those who sought redemption are still here with her. They're the pearls. You were gonna sell and string people, Vexalia. Anyway, Pyke then gets a blessing from Sarenrae, the blessing of the Everlight, which is a +2 to her constitution, wings that for 10 minutes and 40 feet of speed. Everybody heals +10 when she heals, but this boon can only be used once per 7 days. Vex says shit, then apologizes to Sarenrae for never quite believing in her. She responds that it's not necessary and that free will is a thing. Do what you like. Vex gives the pearls back. So does Pyke. God, you guys. Travis asks if Sarenrae's hot. Matt says, yeah, but not in a sexual way. She's too good for that kind of thought. Meanwhile, Grog wonders what titties are. Then Beyonce banishes the party to the palace of the Dawnfather himself, Pelor. They arrive at the orchard of the Dawnfather. Kiki likes it here. There's more trees. Kiki also wonders if the Sun Tree has a twin here, while Vax stands around, a bit bittersweet after meeting the goddess he was about to worship a while ago. If you recall, that was a thing way back. Grog picks up a fruit that might be a soul, and then he eats it, except he doesn't because #Momsta. The party head forward, and there are people. They don't really do much other than picking fruit and lack features. So that's a thing. Kiki asks Percy on how he feels in regards to gods, and he gives continual non-answers. They keep moving. It's going to be a long trek, and they deal with long trees. And Pelor's castle is long and tall and huge as fuck. Vex asks the right questions.
Do you think this tower is compensating for something, or maybe it's a representation? Hard to tell.
Then she does science. And they keep getting closer, with the stained glass becoming crazy bright. Kiki then fails to see if a tree is a dick or not, and casts Speak with Plants and speaks with one. And he is a delight.
Okay.
And I'm not your bro.
No. I mean, I didn't know if you knew the sun tree that grew in Whitestone on the prime material plane. I didn't know if you knew him or not.
So because I'm a tree of the sun, you assume that I know all other trees of the sun. Is that what this is? Is this one of those things?
I just didn't.
We all just look alike, don't we? All of us trees of the sun, right?
Turns out he's not that bad, he's just a bit salty. And he does not want hugs. Taliesin rolls another natural 20 for Snark.
What a beautiful tree you found. It casts so much shade.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Yes! Oh my god!
You were waiting the whole time to use that, weren't you? Whole conversation.
I was just sitting, just like knitting it. Just crochet.
Kiki doesn't dig it well.
As you guys.
Rejected by a tree before.
No, I have never been rejected by a tree. Most trees like me.
Excuse me.
Like, people don't like me, but at least trees do, except for this asshole.
Celestial beings show up as they approach, and Vex finally remembers the Angel Baby twins' names. A guard asks what their deal is, and Vax 22's a persuasion check to let him know what's up. Turns out Vox Machina isn't evil. They mention that they have an Eye of Vecna, which gets confiscated, and then they head in, flanked by these guys. After the break, the party keeps going. There are no shadows in this palace, so there's no need for the party to worry about a fight just yet. The castle is huge and filled with stained glass and skylight. Doors keep opening for them, and a voice says to come. And they do. They enter the tower part, and it's fucking huge. And made of gold and platinum. Shiny. The big guy himself, Pelor, is sitting there. A big fucking star for a head. Above awesome plate armor. Vex gets an upskirt shot of Grog as Pelor addresses them by title. They tell him shit's fucked and that they're trying to unfuck it. Pelor says he'll work on it and basically dismisses them. Vox Machina keeps pushing a bit and leaves the Eye of Vecna on the ground, and Pelor offers to destroy it for them. Vox Machina asks to know if it can help, and Vex says to do it after Pelor reminds them that free will is a thing. Then the subject moves to Ioun, who is still alive and somewhere Pelor won't reveal to them, unless of course one of his champions were to ask. Keyleth kind of volunteers to become one, but then Vex really does. She says her faith has grown, and that it's time to accept him. Pelor says that there will be a trial. Climb the tower, throw yourself into the flames of dawn, and become the champion of the Dawnfather. Big ass hourglass time, and Vex tries to get the fuck up there, except Scambo turns her into an adult red dragon. But not before she tosses Scambo the broom. Grog smashes shit, and Percy shoots some motherfuckers and clips their wings. Frightful Presence does nothing, but Dragon Vex keeps flying, and Kiki flaming spheres, but too late. The door closes and stops the rest of the party from following Vex, who is getting steered by one of these motherfuckers. After an epic aerial battle, Vex manages to make it into the flame, and it burns. She's a red dragon, that ain't supposed to burn. The spell ends. She's numb, and there's every color around her. No sense of time. For a moment it seems like the flames are destroying her mind. These flames cleanse sin, darkness, and the unworthy. Did it do so here? Back down below, the party hangs silent with Pelor. Then he asks them what Vex means to all of them. Kiki says that she has faith in her, something she lacks for the gods. Scanlan says a bunch of truths about her, but that she is indeed the best of them. Grog appreciates her believing in him and helping him be a better person, and helping him use his brain. Pike considers her beyond a sister, and also says that if Pelor takes her or breaks her or something, she'll unleash her ultimate vestige, La Chancla. #Momsta. Percy calls her the future he's chosen, his heart, and his betrothed, apparently. God, Percy, what the fuck? When are you gonna say this shit? Like, seriously, what the... Vax says that she'll make the world right when he's gone. That she's him, but stronger. And definitely the right person to be Pelor's champion. And a final spark enters the room, and within, a radiant Vexalia. She can look at Pelor without dying, and apparently he has a nice face. There is indeed hope, and a new blessing. Resistance to curse damage, bright lights for an hour that will deal counter damage on hit, and of course this can be used only once per 7 days. Now to business. What about this sealing technique? Ioun came up with it. It's called the Prime Trammel, a device that could seal away a dick of a god, seal them beyond the Divine Gate. And one person has the key to finding her. He then shows them a map, and Scanlan and Keyleth natural 20 into knowing what this place is. It's a place deep in the Cliffkeep Mountains, outside the pools of Whittabon. Pelor grants them a bit of essence in an opal. It's gonna help them make it once they're ready. And he commands them to go and kick ass. 3 champions of the gods! Is my Power Rangers alternate universe coming true? Sound off in the comments below and be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more. Then take my godly trial over here on Twitter. I've been Arthur from Natural 9, and is it Thursday yet?